because everything start from home, like your nutrition, your activities, and then like my parents push my sibling to do sports. I've never had to fight for food. I've never had to worry about the health and safety of my son. I feel the Malaysian government is very generous with its subsidies.
Hello everyone, I'm Aminuddin and we're watching From Malaya to Malaysia 60 Years Special podcast. And today I am very excited because we're going to talk about two things that has the power to unite Malaysians. And I'm not talking about politics, no, none of that today. Even politics and skin color doesn't even begin to express how these two things we're going to unite us as Malaysians. And those two things we're going to talk about today is music and sports. And yes, sports always come together to support. For example, our local part of Malaya and music. Who doesn't love music? So we always come together to support local artists and our athletes. And today we have two amazing and talented ladies. I feel very empowered today. I don't know because of Barbie, but also feel very empowered. My very right, we have a singer, Nikki Palikat, and her singer before Malaysia Idol, the recent one into Towards the Vacanza, and on her right, very bright, it's Adilla J. Our Sports Matters podcast host. He is also a Malaysian gold medalist cyclist. Okay, now that we talk about a little bit about music and sports and how what unity means to the both of you, and what do you think of the development in your industry, the music industry and the sports industry? Because clearly this podcast we're talking about From Malaya to Malaysia, it's all about progression, right? So for the past, how long have you been in the music industry, Nikki?
Since 2005, I took a break after my son was born, and then I think I started again actively after Gagaba Cancer.
So that's almost 20 years.
Yeah.
Almost 2 decades in the industry. That's a long time. So I'm pretty sure you have witnessed a lot of things, a lot of changes, progress, I hope. How has it been?
I would say, as with any industry, things always evolve and change, and I think talent matters less than relevance.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of people feel angry at the fact that, how come this is such a great singer and it's not selling, and this one who uses auto-tune excessively is able to have a career. I think that's just the natural progression of things, and you have to recognize what fits the desires of the current group of listeners, because that's the people that you're selling to. So I wouldn't say that I know everything, because I'm learning this. It's still something very new. I come from an era where it was still physical CDs sold, and this whole TikTok social media thing is something that I've had to try to adapt to.
You also have to evolve together with the industry, right?
Yeah, definitely. But I think it helps an artist more to not blame anyone, to go with the flow and to sincerely enjoy it. I mean, if you really love your music and that's what you want to put out, then the focus should be that.
I see. Okay, so that's a lot of changes in terms of
definitely
voting, social media, like you said.
Especially now, people want music in very short bursts. They want 30 seconds of a song because of TikTok.
Yeah. Okay, so they just want to listen. They just, if it's good, and then the next.
Yeah. Okay. And then they get little samples of music, as opposed to before when an artist would release a new single.
Yeah.
It would be like an event.
Yeah.
But now it's just like, whatever I hear on TikTok, hey, what's this? Let me check it out more. And they hear a lot of snippets, I would say, nowadays. That's the trend.
Is it also a challenge for you?
Oh, yeah, it is, because definitely it's the competition and what people are able to put out in a second from their bedroom.
Yeah.
Definitely. But I would say that I feel like I've created my own niche, and my own sound. And so that's what I stick to.
Yeah.
That's what I want to continue to grow and evolve.
And it's been accepted. Here nationwide, everyone has been supporting your music as well over
Yeah,
the
definitely.
past 18 years.
Yeah,
It's a long
they've
time.
been amazing.
Yeah. And how about you, Adilla? Is it the same for the sports industry? Has it been any different from since you started?
Sports industry, I think is almost similar like arts industry, music industry. Since the time I started, I think not much changes like scouting talents, because to be honest, in my sport we still have less talent for cyclists, especially women's. And plus, we Malaysian don't empower fitness so much, because since school you already skip your PE class. So the athlete mindset doesn't come from school unless you are gifted, or maybe your parents support. You got your parents support.
That is so true. I mean, I will say that as a student, I hated PE. It was like, oh, this time where say hatan, and it was just so boring and sweaty. But after I finished school and after I took a serious look at how fitness contributes to your quality of life, this is not taught to the student.
Yeah.
They just go, is that too?
All they think about is are we tired?
Yes. Don't want challenge at all.
Yeah. So I think that's something really sad, because I think if students were taught that movement is something necessary and required to have a greater life.
Yeah, to relate back to my experience when I started to teach secondary school, is the same. Like I said, is the same process and era, because most people in Malaysia doesn't like to sweat. So for me, like as a teacher, my point of view is either they change the syllabus, or the parents need to support, because everything start from home, like your nutrition, your activities. And then like my parents push my sibling to do sports. Like my younger sister started from standard 4, standard 3, already bought a bicycle for her, for my younger brothers. Everyone must involve in sport. And then my dad also like doesn't want the child involved in hanky-panky stuff. So that's what we do since little. Sports.
Yeah.
And then like go back to my sports right now, I can see we have few talents, but we need more. We cannot depend forever on Dato' Azizul Asni. You know what I mean, right? Like what happened to Dato' Lee Chong Wei, and then it's just only one. We need more.
Nicole David,
Yes.
we don't see any athletes playing squash.
I mean, I'm pretty sure they are upset, but we don't really see what is out after Dr. Nicole David. Yes. Is that you're saying it's still ongoing, that the youth doesn't really appreciate
Sports, yes. Because like I say, it start from home, and then from home, from school. So like my experience, teacher doesn't like sports students. So because we always keep school. Yeah.
school.
So,
It's raised in high school because my parents put me. I joined martial arts since I was like 7, and then taekwondo. Yeah, so I'm still since I was 7, and then I did it until like high school and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I also love playing sports, but I always get a side eye from my teacher whenever I need to get out of class because I need to go training. Yeah, and I think it's the same thing.
Yeah.
So the teachers doesn't.
yeah. So my point of view is just is all related to my experience, because I see what's happening until now. So I don't see sport doesn't grow too much or not much. They need to at least sustain. Yeah, at least sustain and produce more.
That's a really sad progress because even in 2023 that sports industry is still like that. You think it's gonna move a bit more aggressive?
Should be, because hopefully, YB Hanayo, YB Adamadli must have, must have a good plan to execute, because we have a lot of games coming since we are already at the endemic, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, sports is um one of the apa what we say, peluang, okay, chance for our athletes, because athlete doesn't have like sustainable salary, so we go by allowance and incentive. So athletes needs that.
It's not something.
Yeah, right.
And it's okay. And okay, talking about progress, now we're going to focus on Nikki, Sabah. We're talking about Sabah now. And Sabah is home to diverse indigenous communities. Yeah, each with its distinct cultural heritage. I love Sabah. I've been to Sabah. It is very, very beautiful.
Kota Kinabalu?
Yeah, I went to GK for a holiday. It was quite some time ago, but I just remember how beautiful it is, and I've been planning to do my best to go again, just to visit. And how do you? Because clearly, the culture would include some music.
Yeah, yeah.
And how do you incorporate elements of Sabahan culture into your music to create a connection to your hometown? Because it's something that is real.
Yeah. I was in discussion about releasing something more traditional, using the instruments such as the sompoton, which is a kind of kadazan wind instrument, possibly the sape, which is Sarawakian. But I think in terms of how do I incorporate, I would not say I'm a traditional singer, so it's not something that I place a lot of emphasis on. However, I find it interesting that whenever people hear, "Oh, you're Sabahan, no wonder you can sing." Like this is something I hear a lot. "Oh, all Sabahans can sing." There's this generalization. So I think even vocally, you can always tell who the Sabahans are. There's a kind of rawness, I would say. I was doing a show the other day for Kaamatan, and so naturally a group of Sabahan singers together, and the atmosphere is different. Not all the time. Yeah, and they're funny. So that was fun. It's a different kind of crazy. It's a very down to earth. I'll just wear my baju rumah and I will just do like this and talk to you. So I'm sure there's a chillness which it you don't really find outside of Sabah, and it's very close to home. But your question was, and I deviated so far, but how do I incorporate? Definitely in the future, I would like to release something, an old song of my dad's. My dad was a singer in the 1970s for RTM. So he put out an album, and one of them he wrote for his deceased grandmother. And that's something I've been thinking for a long time, to do a remake of and possibly include the traditional instruments.
So you're saying your upbringing, because family runs, the music runs in your family.
Definitely, everyone sings.
Everyone
sings. When we have gatherings, it's like, oh, someone take the guitar. There's just naturally a band there, and everyone just picks up an instrument and starts playing. And I thought it was like that everywhere, and it's not. So music is very integral form of coming together for kadazans, I'd say, especially.
So how has the upbringing, since you say anything I go back and one would just sing, pick up the instrument, how has the upbringing in Sabah influenced the messages you convey through your songs?
How has it, I would say, through my music, not a lot of Sabah gets out, but I would say the spirit is always there. The boldness and I don't know, from what I've heard from my grandparents is that we come from a line of warriors.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I feel that natural strength gets imparted into my music. I would say Charamu is quite a empowering song, and even drama. So I like energy in my music, and I think that has a lot to do with the way Kadazan people are just naturally very sinewy and strong people.
Oh my gosh. Okay, Adilla, and now that I'm pretty sure as an athlete as well, it's a big responsibility when you know the whole country is watching you, like the big sports event and all that. Was there a moment in your life or while you were cycling that you felt, this is my calling, I carry the Malaysian maple with me? Has that ever happened? The moment you wake up, like people are depending on you to like, harumkan nama negara.
So I feel all the time, and then to remember back those days when I started 2012, 2014, we are not focusing on media. So that time I didn't feel pressure at all, because I know this is my decision to represent national. I want to carry my flag because I cannot be in like some sort, we call it uniform, like ATM Navy, right? So what are the things I can do? So represent the national. But when 2017 Kuala Lumpur, SEA Games Kuala Lumpur, Para ASEAN Kuala Lumpur is a bit, I started to feel the pressure. And that time I feel that I matured enough to digest whatever comment, whatever they throw words on me. So I did say to my partner, okay, this is our time to shine. I don't care what color medal, whatever color we need to contribute. So yeah, we contribute 4 gold, 1 silver, if I'm not mistaken. It's like too much medals at my home. So every time Negaraku like was on air, yeah, goosebump for sure. And then actually I never like in tears. It's like, okay, finally wish list tick. So yeah, it's just my moment is just like that. Okay, this is my wish list. Okay, tick. I achieved this, tick. And not like in tears term. No, I don't have that kind of that kind of style. So if I want to cry, I cry like outside of the moment, like maybe after the game, or if I lose, I don't show to people much.
And when you say you hear the Sonagara, for what really feels very patriotism, and it just, the spirit is screams in you, right?
Yeah.
And like, how do you think sports foster a sense of belonging and identity among Malaysians? Like such as creating a collective spirit that transcends individual differences, but emphasize a shared love for the country. How do you think the sports created that?
For me, when I see Malaysian watch sport, we need to know that they rooting for the athletes or for the flag, because yeah, sometimes it can be confusing for me as well, because like the first step I made when I got to represent national, I hang Malaysian flag in my bedroom. So at least I need to understand what flag is this. This is my country flag. Every color represent what. Every color represent what. And then whenever I wear my jersey with Malaysian flags, I need to understand that I carry big things. Like, it's not a burden, it's just it's really big responsibility. And people always look up to you for you to bring something home, especially my parents, like yeah. So the pressure. It started. Yeah, the pressure is naturally. So when we know right now Malaysians started to support athletes, that's helped me go through it a bit. Yeah, at least. So I think Malaysians need to understand, to respect what is sportsmanship. And then related to your question, I think right now Malaysia are doing the right thing, supporting all new athletes like Lizzie Jia.
Nikki, do you think sports unite Malaysia?
Definitely. I think there's a very cool bola culture here.
Yeah.
No, at the point where people like start beating each other up. I feel that's unnecessary, but it just shows how much it unites people.
Yeah.
And I'm not a sports person myself. I'm a fitness person, I would say. But I would say that it does unite. Sports does unite the people.
Do you feel the same way about music? Because when you joined the Gavaganza in 2021, it is a show that would be trending on Twitter. People would just tweet about it. The whole nation did.
Yeah.
They'd be like, "Oh, Nikki did like so well. The other singer did so well."
So, yeah.
Do you feel the same way as how people unite for sports but for music?
Definitely, and especially I would say a show like Gavaganza because it is one of the top-rated shows on for the channel, and I think people with reality TV shows, as a contestant, I always tell the others that it's very important to not take things personally because it's a competition and everyone wants a horse.
Yeah.
You are the horse.
Yeah.
And they want to see the horse go and that's all that it is. And to not take the criticism personally. So people do get into their groups and they start rooting for the horse of choice, and it's a very exciting process.
But is it like for the both of you, because you guys join competitions, is it difficult when you lost? Is it like do you feel like you let someone down, or do you feel like Malaysians actually still supports you even if you don't win a competition? How do you feel about the Malaysian crowd?
The Malaysian crowd, I would say that I've always been very truthful with myself about my performances. So I remember performances that I did that got rated very well, and I felt horrible because I knew how I did. Like, I knew every wrong note that I sang. I know what it was supposed to be. I knew what it could be. So I've never relied on people's feedback to depend on how I would feel about something. I know. I'm sure, and the same.
Yeah, it's almost similar because singer get to rewatch the show. We like to rewatch the performance. Same goes to athlete. We have video analysis, like point out this is. Yeah. You need to go out a little bit early. Then you can cut 3 seconds or something. There's a lot of maths going on in there, and then what else? Like losing is, I would say win and losing. It's not my favorite stuff to talk because I believe every journey has a special moment, whether I'm losing or winning.
Exactly.
Yeah, because when I newly in my sport, yes, my parent question why you lose. So I don't want that pressure to go on if I want to achieve more. So like you said, we don't need people feedback, including my parents. I just stay truthful. I know myself, because I was on the bike riding 100 kilo to win that medal. So I know what's happened on me throughout the race.
Only you were there for the entire journey.
Yeah.
And okay, we have like a few minutes to spare. So let's get up close and personal. As if we haven't been personal, I feel like we have touched a lot of stuff.
The next level.
So could you, we'll start with Adilla, could you share some of your favorite childhood memories that is related to your hometown culture and how they have influenced your journey today? Because I'm pretty sure you have a lot of lovely people supported you on your journey as an actor.
Okay, I grew up in Putrajaya. So before that, I stayed a short time in Shah Alam, really short time, and then I moved to Putrajaya. So that time when I moved in Putrajaya, it was 2002. It was like not much people in Putrajaya. So, actually, I was let's say physical bully. Because student like to call names, right? Yeah, it's just something like that's when I came up. I want to be an athlete. I want to be a sportsman. I want to be known because I have talent. Let's give it a try. And then throughout my journey is all I can say is started from my parents, and then I have my auntie, my uncle that played badminton, so they involved in sports. Afterwards, when I started continue studies around Selangor, UKM, I would say not much people behind me. To be honest, I don't have much friend. As an athlete, we don't have much friend. We only have like closest friend that.
Because you're busy training.
Yeah, busy, and people, my teammate, like all guys, is just okay. By the time I have to adapt to talk like a guys, kasar, kasar all the time, rough, and then also my coaches also. We athletes, we don't go in formal way. Everything informal. So throughout my journey, it's just me and my parents and my siblings and my coaches and some good friend. I will not mention the name, but I remembered them. And then sadly, because I had a concussion twice, so some of my memory lost. So if go back to your question, I don't really remember what's happened. Yeah. At least I have the support system.
Great, you have a great support system. I feel like that's very important to the folklore industries, right? And how about you, Nikki? Any childhood memory that you...
For sure. As you know, anytime we Karasan, the family gathers, there's always singing and dancing. So there was one kamatan I remember where they did a sumazao competition. Sumazao is the traditional Karasan dance.
Can you do it?
And so I can.
Oh, okay.
And so I joined it very excitedly, my younger sister and I, and we felt we were so good. Like, there's no way we're not going to win this. We were super overly confident. And then we lost. And I remember I cried that night, the entire night. And everyone was so tired of hearing about like how we lost because we wouldn't let anyone forget. I think I was about 9 years old. My sister was 7. So I've always been very, very, had natural love to perform. And I remember losing that Sumazal competition was so hard on me. And to this day, my family does not let me forget. They will always bring this up to embarrass me. But I think I deserve it for the amount of fuss that it kicks up at the time. Yeah, but that really taught me that losing that competition, as well as growing up with 5 other sisters who would not hold back on the criticism.
Yeah.
Really gave me an ability to detach from my art.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, you're a performer. A lot of performers that I know, they're passionate, they're emotional.
Yes.
So they could hear one bad thing about their music, and they would self-punish, and it would hold them back so hard that they would not be able to create anything after that. And so I'm really grateful for losing that and the other things that I've lost in my life, as well as the criticism that I've gotten from my sisters, because that really influenced the kind of performer that I am, which is to always look forward. In Gagavaganza, apparently there was a marking system and a placing weekly, which at the beginning, before I entered, I had no idea. And I was asking. So it's like every performance you give for that week, you then have a placing, first, second, third.
Oh,
there's a position. And I didn't know about that.
Okay.
And then when I found out, it's a big deal, okay. However, I feel like that's going to take away from the fun that I'm going to have. So yeah, put that aside.
So putting unnecessary pressure on yourself, right?
Yeah, and I put that. Exactly, and I wouldn't be able to enjoy myself. So I think that's a childhood memory that really shaped me as a person.
And okay, I mean, we mentioned a little bit about food. And we're going to talk about food. It's just a little bit. Favorite Malaysian food and delicacies from where you're from? Top of your head.
Boso, but that's Mukaras.
Yeah.
I really want to try that because I saw one person sell it on TikTok, especially the one that you mentioned, Basal,
Basal SOU. So it smells rancid. It's actually fermented rice, fish, and the serbuk, what's actually buah keluak in Nyonya cuisine. So you put everything in a jar. You put some salt. My mom puts sliced cooked ginger, and you leave it there for a month. You open it, and the minute anyone comes in, they're like, "What died here?" But it tastes amazing. I eat so much rice whenever I have that.
I need to try that and try.
You must. At least once in your life, you have to try it.
I don't know, what's your favorite food?
nasi lemak.
Nasi.
Yeah, because I came from Selangor. I don't have like really culture, exposure my whole life.
Your favorite, the best for you would be
Nasi lemak.
from where?
My mom's, my nenek, my grandmother, and I think I can go with any nasi lemak. I can go with nasi lemak. Even sometimes during my training days, I eat nasi lemak.
How about nasi lemak ice cream? Because I've seen there.
Wait, what? Is that a sale?
It's a thing for the artisanal. You can't get it there, but I've seen it before.
Is it from inside school or sometimes they make? Yeah,
I've seen the hipster one. I've seen.
nasi lemak. Okay,
If it would taste good. Okay, and lastly, just before we end the podcast, to the both of you, what's your take now that Malaysia is 60 years old? And what do you think the future would be for your industry, the music industry and the sports industry? We can start with it.
I love my country. I feel like people complain about Malaysia all the time, and I've been to other countries, and there's always good and bad everywhere. I'm just grateful that it's overall, I would say, peaceful. I've never had to fight for food.
Yeah.
I've never had to worry about the health and safety of my son. I feel the Malaysian government is very generous with its subsidies and is, in general, very, very prihatin, I would say. And Malaysians are, as a whole, very, very respectable towards each other. And I think there's so much good that I can point out. So 60 years, Malaysia, happy birthday. I mean, I'm more power to our country. I'm very, very happy. And the next question was, what do I see in the future?
Yeah.
Of the music industry. I really can't say, because a lot of what happens in the music of Malaysia is very influenced by the music of the rest of the world.
Yeah.
So, for example, K-pop became a thing. And so Malaysians start coming out with their own K-pop-esque girl groups. So I would say it's very influenced by that. I would like to see a lot more traditional artists come out. Like the other day, I was watching the snippet of an RTM show, and there was a female gambus player, and she sounded beautiful. So that's something that I would like to see more and more become incorporated in the local music and be upholded and pushed for.
Okay, that's very interesting. More traditional.
Yeah.
Or something more traditional. And how about you?
I'm blessed to born in Malaysia. I'm proud to represent my flag all the time. For an athlete, I always keep my jersey in the box, like, nicely, because I have first Malaysian jersey and the last Malaysian jersey that I got. So that's why I love Malaysia so much. I'm proud. For Malaysia 60 years, I hope in the future we can produce more athletes. Okay, especially female athletes. Let's empower ladies in fitness, ladies in sports, or whatever. But we must bring forward the ladies. And then for me, I wish that at least we step up our game in the sports science, so that we can at least be at the same level as a European. because we have a lot of genes in Malaysia and a lot of potential, and we need to support the ecosystem so that we can produce more potential athletes in the future. So happy birthday, Malaysia.
So much, Nikki. Thank you so much, Adilla. I hope you guys really enjoy this podcast. I really find this very inspiring to know more about the touring industry and the sports industry. And I hope you guys were inspired as much as me. And if you guys missed out on this episode, maybe perhaps you listen it towards the end, you can rewatch it on YouTube, our Sinar Daily YouTube channel, and also our social media, Sinar Daily MY, to get the full episode and other episodes for our podcast and our exclusive interviews. And also not to forget to follow all of our social media to get the latest updates on the current affairs and the news around Malaysia. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Athira, and see you guys next time. You've just watched From Malaya to Malaysia's 60 Years podcast special, a campaign collaboration between Sinar Daily, Bual Studio and Reka Sounds. We hope you enjoyed today's episode, and make sure to follow and subscribe Sinar Daily's social media platform, Sinar Daily MY, for more. I'm Aminuddin. Thank you for watching.